We got a new ban list. We got some product delays, which always suck. Konami, when is this ever gonna end? What is up, guys? We are here with another discussion from your favorite casual rogue scum, YuGiBOOM. Abe here, as always. We got Joe. At this point, I don't know who's where, but I'm just pointing where I see right now. We
Yeah,
got
that's
Joe
fair
here.
enough.
We got Joe here. Say hi, Joe. And we got Toby Kuhn right up here.
I know, I
Say
know
hi,
my,
Toby.
I know my camera angle keeps changing, but like with change comes a lot of like more stuff. So like, bear with me.
Toby's
Yeah,
been
with
having a
change
lot of
comes a
news.
lot of more stuff.
Like, I don't know, my setup keeps evolving on my desk. You notice like my angles keep changing whenever we run this thing. But I
Next,
digress.
you know,
Soon
it's
it's
going to be
just gonna be
behind.
a shot of your forehead and one eye.
Yeah, it's gonna be from like lower angle too, like from down here.
Cross
But
shot.
zoomed up. Gooch cam?
Gooch cam.
Alright, let us know in the comments below if you want the Gooch cam.
Oh my goodness.
All
But Abe,
right.
tell us what we're gonna
Well,
be talking about.
today we have a few topics. We
Mm.
got product delays. When are they ever going to stop? Some new card reveals are coming out in the OCG. Don't know when we'll get them, but we'll see. Hopefully, we get them soon. Um, and then obviously the ban list. If you saw our last episode, we were speculating. I feel like we got a lot of them right. But this time we actually got a ban list. I know we're a little late to the party, but there's a lot of stuff here, and we could try to divulge a little bit on it.
I mean, we won't go in on
As a
every
casual
card.
player, not
Yeah,
every
like
card, but I'm saying like the main ones. Like for Taya, Rorodon, things like that. Um, and then at the end, we'll do a little Q&A, so you get to know us, your favorite people at YuGiBOOM, more, and see if maybe we have a lot more in common than you think. Instead of always playing Evil Swarm, or
Do
you like
people want to
Mermails.
know us? Do people really want to
No,
know us? No, maybe.
and
We'll still tell you guys anyway.
yeah, no. But
this
before we
is all they
start,
need to know.
Warriors
And
all
then they'll
day.
hate us.
At the recording of this, the Warriors are champions, okay? Hell
Oh
yeah.
my goodness.
But anyway, but before we start, make sure you guys always like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on our socials. If you follow us on Facebook, which is YuGiBOOM. If it's Instagram, YuGiBOOM Official. Twitter, just YuGiBOOM. I'm surprised we actually got that as a name, just YuGiBOOM. I like it better when it's just the name. But yeah, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and follow your favorite scum. All right, so for your first product delays, uh, it kind of sucks that this is happening, but we've been having delays, especially ever since COVID started. It's just been more prevalent, I feel like, or like we hear about it more.
Our
Um,
set's not getting printed as much.
that especially when COVID hit, Eternity Code and Rise of Duelists were freaking hard to get.
Shipping with
I'm
just
lucky I even
anything
got
is
a box.
horrible.
Exactly, and then, but we're gonna start off with the first set that was announced that got a pushback. This is Tactical Masters is gonna be like your Ancient Guardians and like all those kind of sets. The deck building set, as Trez would say. So the previous release date was July 1st, but now it's getting pushed back all the way to August 26th,
Ooh.
whole month and a half. Um, and then the Crystal Beast structure deck. It was supposed to come out August 19th, but now it's going all the way back to September 30th. Again, another month of waiting.
Damn.
Um, and then Battles of Legend, Crystal Revenge, this kind of got announced at first, and then they're like, oh, it's going to come out like end of September. Psych. Now it's going to come out, instead of September 30th, it's going to be November 18th. Like another month and a half pushback. So everything's kind of like a month and a half. Kind of sucks. But going back to Tactical Masters, like I said, this is a deck building set that's going to introduce uh, new archetypes. I don't think they'll be meta defining, but they're just something you could play with. I feel like they're more like engines more than anything. So starting off, we got the Mr. Runes archetype. They're kind of like Sky Strikers in a way, where they use a bunch of spells, and they just kind of get rid of your resources. They banish cards from your opponent's deck. So that's Mr. Rune. And then Labyrinth, it's a waifu. So this is for the waifu lovers out there. They're based on traps and stuff. That's what I heard. Not the card. I'm talking about the actual cards or traps, not the pictures. Okay. And then the Valiants, which is actually, I feel like probably I feel like it's the better one, and I feel like Valiance will get more. How do you say? Or they'll be not exposed, but how do you say? What's the other word I'm looking for? Kind of abused
Abused?
more. There you go,
Yeah.
abused. Like they'll be rampant because Valiants are a pendulum based archetype, and they can move zones. They can special summon themselves from the pendulum zone, and then they can move around, and you get hella effects. So we'll start off with Toby because Toby loves his little Valiants. And what do you think about this being pushed back, and what it could mean for people who want to build Valiants or
Hon-
Mr. Runes or
Honestly,
Labyrinth?
personally, out of all of the pushbacks that have happened with all of the product, I feel like this deck building pack, was something I kind of looked forward to. Apart from like the recent announcement of like the structure deck, which we'll get into in a bit, but um, this was actually kind of like a newer deck I was looking forward to building personally because I thought like the deck mechanic was kind of interesting. The whole like aesthetic between like the two types of Valiants is actually like interesting. I want to know more about them, why there's two types, how it kind of their whole thing is just like they're part of like this giant tactical board game or something like that, or
Hmm.
from what it looks like. It's very interesting. So it kind of gives me sort of insight on like just them, like as you mentioned, them being able to like switch around, move around zones and stuff, which is going to be interesting because it's going to play into cards like say infinite impermanence or anything like that, cards that specifically target
Exactly.
zones. um so yeah, it's kind of a small disappointment, something that I was kind of looking forward to, but it is what it is. Things with delays are going to happen, especially with this climate, this time of day, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, that's one of the only things I'm really concerned about. Yeah, it's just
So,
a new deck I wanted to build was Valiance. So
so one question I'll pose for Joe is, I don't know exactly if you'll be interested in any of these decks, Joe, but what could this mean when it comes to reprinting a card, or like because usually these sets are gonna have some kind of reprint, like almost a chase reprint, and so what do you think about what this means when it comes to the delay, and we'll have to wait longer for whatever they choose to reprint, where it could be like an ash or like evenly matched things like that. What are your thoughts on that, Joe?
Well, I'd say it's just your typical gamble, right? Like with Konami, like you've told me before that, I think you said with the Charmer structure deck we were supposed to get, they got evenly matched, but we got something different. So it's like, I guess it's just that
Exactly.
typical gamble. Is Konami gonna give us something good? We spoke on a previous podcast about how it'd be nice if going forward, every structure deck that comes out reprints at least one card that's hell of expensive. Like, you know, they just have been doing a lot better, like putting imperm in a structure deck, things like that. Like the new Albaz structure deck came with like Ghost Ogre, Effect Veiler, D Barrier, like Dark Ruler, like a bunch of stuff people could use. And
Hmm.
so I hope that they would take their time since stuff's getting delayed to give us stuff we actually need. Like, even though Droplet just got reprinted, fuck it, give us a common also. Or they know Ash is expensive, so just reprint Ash again, common. And this time, don't make everybody will be a little bit wiser to buy their 3 copies of the structure deck. And or 6, whatever. Like, if
Right.
you need Ash that bad. And I mean, like, I guess to answer your question, that's it. It's up in the air. I would hope they take the time, but we'll just have to see what they give us. But I'd really like it to be more expensive cards that we could actually benefit from reprints of, rather than just like abusing a lot of basic staples. Like start throwing Feather Duster in there a lot more often, things like that. I think Red Geki and all that's cool to have as well, but like more power hitting expensive cards would be nice.
Like a lightning storm would be
Yeah,
great.
Lightning Storm too, that's one that's been itching for something for a while. So Lightning Storm would be great. Maybe they'll do it in the Dark World structure deck. I don't know. But
Well, going on to the next item that has been pushed back, the Crystal Beast structure deck, which a lot of people are kind of looking forward to, surprisingly enough. Like I said, now it's a whole month that's going to be pushed back. And now, at the recording of this podcast discussion, it got revealed that in the OCG, they'll be getting Ash.
Oh man.
And a question I posed before we started recording: will we get Ash in the structure deck? We don't know. Will we get Effect Veiler again? We don't know. So with the Crystal Beast structure deck, obviously they're going to introduce new Crystal Beast cards, and they're going to try to make those hollow. But I mean, I don't know. The Crystal Beast structure deck, it's up in the air. Like I said, they have Ash and Dimension Shifter as a card they can use to try to sell the product, but are they actually going to put those cards in there? So let's wait to be seen. And then going in tandem with the with the Crystal Beast structure deck is the Battles of Legend Crystal Revenge. So they're actually even besides the structure deck getting more support, the Battles of Legend Crystal Revenge. You're gonna get the advanced Dark Crystal Beast, whatever they're called. Like I said, it's gonna be another month and a half, and we still don't. And like, kind of what we care more, especially us as casual players or the fun players or whatever you want to call us. We are looking. I feel like we're looking more forward to the reprints because cards can get expensive, and I've heard this. I forgot who I got this from, but casual don't mean broke, but at the same time, we're not gonna be spending $300 on 3 cards. And
Yeah.
usually Battles of Legends pretty good at that. And especially like I said, some of us are able to have Ash and stuff. Others are not, and that's kind of like probably you guys can see this when playing video games online. Sometimes there's that paywall, when it comes to playing games, and it's like either you get to have fun with the game or not. It's like Master Duel. You have the gems, you can build whatever. If you don't, you can't play as much as you want unless you play the game a lot.
It's just
So
nice to
yeah,
have one of those resources, just at the back of your hip, to be able to, or like, to not be able to switch putting ashes between, or sets of ashes between decks, you know what I mean? Like, even if it's just like a common, sure, give us that. We
and it
just
was
need
funny because I was
resources.
at Fanime and they actually had the Soul Burner structure deck. Some
Really?
Were
vendor
they
had them.
charging? How much were they charging for it?
It was $40. I
Wow.
think they had two left. They had two left, and they were $40 each.
Wow, that's pretty
Isn't
interesting.
the Ash like 25?
The Ash right now should be like 30, if
It's
Oh,
I'm not mistaken. So, I mean that's what sucks now. And like, um, when it comes to having these cards reprinted, which is like I said, I feel like we care about more than the new stuff. Um, it just sucks because like not anybody can go to a Target and get a structure deck and be like, oh, I can play this, And especially now with how everything is being bought out because of Pokemon
exactly.
and shit, because of COVID, all that shit's getting bought out, and nobody has access to it. And unless you don't have a locals near you, SOL, bro, SOL. you know.
Yep.
Um, so we won't dive too much into the product delays because hey, what are we gonna do? Konami, they get to do whatever they want. But we'll go into some new cards that are coming in the OCG, and hopefully we do get them in the TCG soon enough. And I know Joe's gonna love these new cards. But Dark World apparently has a new structure deck, and I didn't know about this. I guess they probably known about this, but we didn't know what the cards or the new cards are gonna do. So we got, well, from what they revealed, there's 4 new cards. So I'll briefly go over what the cards do. So there's I don't rainbow. I mean that's what it kind of sounds like. I don't know how you
No, that's
yeah, yeah,
pronounce
yeah,
exactly
that.
it.
yeah.
Because they're
He
only
had
So
different
a.
colors.
He's just a new version of the smaller. Just
yeah,
like there's a bigger Grapha now.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. It's a level 8. You special summon it by returning a level 7 or higher Dark World monster to the hand, and if discarded by card effect, you can add a level 5 or higher Dark World monster. And if it gets discarded by an opponent's card effect, special summon a level 4 lower Dark World from your deck or graveyard to either field. Which maybe there can be something there. I don't know why it says to either field, but it is what it is. There's a new Grapha fusion. Who knew Dark Worlds had fusions? It's a level 10, and it's pretty easy. I think just a Grapha and a Dark monster. It doesn't have to be a Dark World monster. Just a Dark monster. So this could be a super poly target, honestly. So when opponent activates a normal spell or trap or monster effect, it becomes your opponent discards a card. So that way you get your bonus cards. And then if it leaves the field, it has to be fusion summon though. Special summon Grapha from banish or graveyard, then each player discards a card. Pretty good. And then there's puppeteering. It's a new quick play spell, which is probably a good thing because imagine if this is a trap. Target up to 3 cards in any graveyard, banish them, then discard 1 fiend during the main phase, except the same turn. Banish, target a banish fiend, add to hand. All right. And then Ascension, I can't even I can't pronounce this word. Accession. I can't even say it. Anyway,
Ascension?
no,
Is it
A session.
no,
ASC?
it's
A session?
A
Accession. There's
session.
no, yeah.
A session.
I thought I was saying it the other way, Ascension, but no, it's
Yeah,
Accession.
but a session. You got it.
It's a quick play spell, also broken. During the main phase, fusion a fiend by banishing materials from field and/or grave, and if you use a Dark World monster, you can also, um, and if it's Dark World monsters, you can also discard monsters from hand as material. Broken. And then, oh, it's a Dark World monster. My bad. And then, if in graveyard, add to hand, then discard a Dark World monster. Joe, what are your thoughts?
I'm excited. I love Dark World. It was one of my favorite decks for a while at a point, and even played it beyond where it was good. Because what's funny about Dark World is with a lot of the spells and traps you can run, the whole messing with the opponent's hand and stuff is just like sometimes, yeah, like nowadays discarding people's stuff might not be too good, but still getting stuff out their hand, like using the called by the grave or the drag down to the grave, I mean, sorry, and shit like that is still fun. So I'm excited to play the new stuff and mix it with a little bit of the old and see what I could experiment with and stuff. But yeah, it's cool because it doesn't sound like as good as a lot of this stuff is, it doesn't sound like any of it's gonna be hella ridiculous where as an old school Dark World player, I'm gonna have to deal with hella people playing the deck now all of a sudden because it's like meta defining, you know? The stuff is good, but Dark World still suffer from that whole, like they're not as good as Fableds who are just like if they're discarded, period, you know?
Right.
Um, so I think this will help them a lot. And like I said, I always had like a nice bunch of random techs in my Dark World. So I think if I dust the dust off my Dark World deck box and say that 5 times fast, but if I do that and get them together, it won't be too hard to add the new stuff in, especially the better cards, because a lot of the stuff carrying Dark World that long, you had to get pretty gimmicky and weird to like. I even had like a Dark World Chaos deck at one point, and it was like super strange, but you know. So, but I'm excited, man. But the only thing is, I will say one last thing about it is I could be wrong, but from what I remember, long before Dragunity started getting their new cards finally, we were told it was possibly going to be a structure deck potentially. I know he got it as a set, you know? And I could see them doing the Dark World stuff in just a set, like making, because it's not that many cards. So you could easily make a bunch of those commons, make the big Grapha guy and one of the cards like Secrets and Ultras, and call it a day. And then maybe one or two supers, you know? And the only good thing about that is, you know, even less people will play Dark World at that point if they do that. But then the annoying thing is to play it right away. I either have to buy boxes, or when secrets first come out, like let's say the Dark World guy's a secret, he's never gonna be worth that much. But first week, people just because it's a secret and it's new, he's gonna be like $25 at least, And I don't just because I want to make the deck hella faster, play it. I'm not gonna spend like 70 to 100 for 3 Graphas and then like a month later he's $6, like. So that's that. It just goes back to the first topic again. Like, are they gonna throw us a bone, or And fuck it, if Dark World does come as a structure deck here to the TCG, put fucking Imperm and Lightning Storm in that bitch, or some shit.
Yeah, especially when it comes to these cards, it's been infamous that the Dragunities get thrown into Ghosts from the Past, and then the agents, the new agent cards, they got thrown in Ghosts from the Past again, and the second one.
Yeah,
So, kind of sucks that like I said, we're hearing this news in the OCG, but what happens in the TCG can be completely
completely
different.
different story. Yeah,
Exactly. And then going on to some card reveals for Battles of Legend Crystal Revenge. So, when they first got announced, they didn't really say what would be in it, but the description we got is Advanced Crystal Beast monsters, so those dark ones. Even Advanced Dark got bought out, which is a secret from Return of the Duelist. It's a Zexal set. That card is getting bought out for I don't know why. It says expanded Earth cyber support, so more cyber, so cybers aren't going anywhere. and a new monster for the Joker monsters from King's Court. So if King's Court, if you guys remember, has Lightning Storm in it. It had the cards that Yugi used to use, and apparently we're getting one of those in the Battles of Legend Crystal Revenge. So I was going to ask Toby this question because I know Toby's been wanting to make a Cybers deck for a long time now. What are your thoughts on this new Cyber support? What do you think it could use?
Reprint assignment, Signet mining. Simple enough. Honestly, that has been such a hot ticket like card for like Cybers decks. Salamangrates, obviously was the deck that kind of shot that fucking card up. And honestly, one thing that I wanted to try to make was a Code Talker deck just to see if it would work.
I was gonna say access code talker reprint would be nice
Exactly
too.
that too. Access Code Talker reprint, Signet mining, any of the high value Cybers.
Make them commons.
Yeah, exactly. Or like bump them down to like super, but to really like bring down the price, just print them common.
Yeah, because Silent Mining got a reprint, right? But isn't it still expensive or something? Is that
Yeah.
the...
I haven't
so.
checked recently on the market about the value of sign-in mining, but the lowest rarity I know is Super from the Megatons a couple years ago. Other than that, I'm not sure if it got reprinted again.
I don't think so.
Especially now because the new Legendary Duelist just came out and Marincesses are in there. They're technically Cybers, so sign-in mining is going to get probably a little more looked at because Salad's back at full power
Oh,
almost.
it's cheap though right now.
Okay, that's good.
Oh,
It's
okay.
$6
There you go,
for the
Toby.
secret.
But regardless, I think Battles of Legend could still use because remember Battles of Legend, everything's going to be ultra except the secret, right? So everything's ultra and then the secret in the pack. So
maybe
Silent Mining would be a good reprint in there because if they want to push Earth Cyber support,
exactly.
Silent Mining's a great card. So
And
exactly what Toby said. Silent Mining would be a good card to
and
put
then
in
just
there.
general, as Joe said, access Code Talker, because obviously we just need a reprint of that fucking card.
Even if he's secret again, just give us another way, because
Yeah.
even after reprinting, he's still hard to get. I've seen people open multiple of those gold things and not even get one. Hell,
Yeah,
people
we're
were
lucky we
happy to
pulled
get
one.
people were happy to get a shit ton of Verte, and now that sucks, you know?
Access
True.
Code wasn't short print, was it?
No,
mean-
I mean, now one could argue nowadays it seems all the good cards are, even
Mm.
if they are not listed as short print on the set. Like they seem hard to get,
They'll be
but
half printed. That's what they'll say, half printed.
yeah.
It's just like so. It all
Is that
depends
even
on the
me?
clumping. I don't even know, dude.
Yeah.
Money,
Yeah.
Well, going on, especially we're getting a lot of new stuff this year. So I mean, there's the fact that everything's getting pushed back kind of sucks, but we are getting a lot of stuff. Whether it's meta relevant or not, we don't know. But going on to meta stuff, we're going to talk about the May 2022 TCG Ban List. We'll first go over some of the cards or what got hit and stuff, and then we'll talk about maybe why it got hit. And hopefully we'll see. And hopefully it didn't hurt any of our decks. We're going to talk about that. Hopefully it didn't hurt any of our decks. But going first, banned obviously Prankiz Miyamu, Auroradon, and Verte. Okay. Sad days. But limited, we got Jet Synchron, Red Rose Dragon, Ihara Gorasu, who would have thought, Hauka Fibrax, Monkey Board, Shooting Riser Dragon, Change of Heart, and Time Seal. And then the semi-limits, they got the Dynamite guy, then we just call him Knuckles. That's what everybody calls him. Ben 10, so Drytron gets a boost, even though he was still banned. Tanky, for all those Tri Brigades, and Ancient Warriors. Ancient Warriors, let's go. Pot of Desires, which we still don't know why it's at 1, or now it's at 2. Light Stage for Brant, and Wall of Revealing Light. I don't know why that card was even hit at the first place. I think it was some kind of FTK or something. And then everything that came back to 3. Now it's free forever. Well, for now. Night Assailant, because I think it had an errata, so it's like bleh. Trish, kind of crazy. Mirage Stalio, A Hero Lives, Hero Players, and then Salad Circle. I just call it Salad Circle, and then Scapegoat. So obviously, a lot of people are gonna instantly go to Verte's banned, finally, because a lot of people wanted that card banned, but it's like I want a ban. It helps me out. It's too good. And then what everybody was talking about was Yada and Change of Heart coming back to one.
That what era are
Yeah.
we living in?
Yeah, they were talking about it mainly because of nostalgia. Because I think everybody agrees no one's gonna. I mean, there might be some trolls, and for video purposes and combo sake, someone will find a way to abuse Yada, right? But in a real like competitive game match, there's so many outs to that nowadays. You know, like people have hella good graveyard effects that happen on different turns, reoccurring stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, Yada would totally slump like a rogue deck at the right time or things like that, right? But Change of Heart is actually big because that's just a good ass card.
That can just
Like, you
benefit
know,
any
like
deck.
even at one, like it's funny. The second I saw that when this first happened was I was like, oh, I'm gonna put that on all my annoying decks, like or my like especially like OTK decks, like more rogue OTK decks, like Cyber Dragons. That's just a nice staple to just have in that if you open a decent hand and Change of Heart, like it's a good chance you could pop off, you know?
Especially
And
for
like
Joe Cyber Dragons, he already runs Kaijus and Mega Fleet
Oh
and
my
Chimera
god.
Tech Fortress Dragon. He can already get rid of stuff, but yeah, just give him a Change of Heart. It's cool. It's cool.
Change of Heart and Kaijus would be pretty interesting. My
just
goodness.
But
kaiju and the kaiju
Yeah.
and then sacrifice it for a Jinzo. No, I'm just
Oh my
kidding.
god.
we'll probably go over. This is what I've gotten from Twitter about what the ban list implications are.
Hmm.
So when it come or why things probably got hit, Auroradon because of how it plays and it's too free. That's why a lot of people were kind of annoyed about it. And then Verte, I mean, Verte is just too broken. And if you look at the prices now, Phoenix Enforcer, he's going down, even though he can still be used because of Fusion Destiny, but he's like half the price. And Dark Dragoons also has gone down in price. He's like half in price now.
What is
Um,
he like 70?
last time I looked, he was like 60.
Oh,
Yeesh.
nice. Yeah, because but that's the thing is Verte bypassed the lock condition of Red Eyes Fusion, so it was stupid. And so now like those pure Red Eyes players are like the very few of them out there. They're like, we can finally buy the real card, not a
Right?
proxy.
And then the Meow Meow move for prank kids. From what I gathered, I think because prank kids were still being played, even though Meow Meow move was at one, but it's because of the adventure package. If you get the adventure package going first, you can just then link hella easily after that, and it's too nutty. It's too free, as people would say.
Yeah.
Um, and then probably another big one I think is just Hulk going to one. A lot of people are like, why is it at one? Why not just ban it? But I think at this point, Hulk just to one is there because not a lot of people do, but some people do play two, just in case their play gets stopped. So there's that. And then a lot of other ones are just, like I said, they're just why? You know, I think the Pot of Desires one is still too funny. Uh, it was at one, and everybody's like, why? And then now it's at two, and everybody's like, well, we play two anyway, so two's cool. Two's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's for me it was just annoying because I just updated the evil swarm. Damn, I missed two desires, and then now I
Yeah, you were
can
saying
make
in
another
the
one and make. I had to put a second desires right back in. I was like,
and Tenki
fuck.
too. Tenki's always that card. Goes to one, and then it goes to three, and then it goes to two, and it's like it's always ebb and flow with that card because Konami prints these broken ass archetypes.
Yeah.
So it's like whatever. And then when it comes to the unlimits, I think nobody cares about those. Nothing's gonna happen with those. Um, but yeah, but I mean, I was gonna ask Toby this.
Mm.
When it comes to this ban list, Toby, what card being hit hinder any of your decks?
I'm gonna be real, nothing really stopped any of my decks. Like, sure, like, it just kind of closed a lot of doors for potential. Like, as you mentioned, double Hulk, and other than that, like, nothing really. Like, none of my decks have been really affected. But, I mean, I will say a lot of the new cards coming back, or not necessarily new cards, like a lot of like the old cards coming back, like Change of Heart, Time Seal, those would be like pretty splashable, cards to use in, pretty fun decks. Yada was just kind of random. Personally, I would kind of like to see what deck would benefit off of using Yatagarasu, like in a very effective way to just kind of stall out and like just completely stop your opponent from playing, you know.
Right. A lot of people put the Yada in the Flenderies deck because you can search it out.
Mhm.
So But other than that, Yada is very hard to to like search out because it has a very odd like typing and attribute. So it's like
Hmm.
that's why a lot of people don't play the Yada. But you can play it in Flunderies, but a lot of people don't anyway because they don't want to be buttholes.
And then
Um,
as for the semis, one thing I kind of thought Ben 10 coming back to 2. I mean, like it was at 1, right?
yeah,
Like for some reason, like or
Drytrons.
Drytrons, yeah. I feel like that'll just bring back a lot of decks, other decks too. Like rituals might, end up coming back again.
True.
Uh, going into the rogue side of things. But yeah, other than that, like, it's just a pretty interesting but random ban list altogether, to be honest.
Right,
Yeah.
and
I
especially
mean, it
for
starts off hella strong and then just gets into that's cool and then, huh? Like,
Yeah.
you
yeah, you're
know?
like, mm-hmm.
So it's like, honestly, I mean, I'm just happy this isn't one where just like, wow. I mean, obviously, when I watched people's initial reactions, because being more rogue, we have to rely on a lot of more meta like reactions, you know?
Hmm.
And so I heard the chatter of the people, and some people wanted the Brave engine hit already in one way or another. I don't really know the specifics of it, but um, on top of that, there's still people who, like Abe said, wanted Hulk completely banned, not just freaking um, limited. And then, some people want other E-Dragons at one, like people have been
Title.
talking. Yeah, like Tidal and Blaster. Redux is the only one I would argue is probably a little bit risky,
Because he's
but
Earth.
hmm but the other ones I just don't think will get used that much. I mean, Tidal probably will for sure, especially with all the new water support and whole water set and stuff. But Blaster, I can't see like a Salamangreat player playing Blaster, or something like that, like or any other like dominant fire deck, I would play it in my Fire Fist again if I could rebuild Fire Fist somehow, but I just don't know how to make that deck good anymore. So that's a conversation for another day.
Make Fire Fist good again.
Yeah.
Uh, and also, when it comes to, I mean, one thing I think they put here to one just because, to promote pendulums, because at the time, Dimension Force was going to be the next set, but Monkey Board being at one, a lot of people are like, I mean, a lot of people are like, it's not going to do anything, but Monkey Board, I feel like it's still a very powerful card on its own because it is a one card scale. As long as Electromite's banned, card can be that card can be out and roaming. As long as they don't bring back Kieran, at the Magic Spectre unicorn looking ass. If they don't bring that card back, at least I'm cool. But Monkey Board, I'll accept for now because I don't really like pendulum decks, anyways. That's just me. Um, but yeah, I don't know. When it comes to this ban list, I think it did address a lot of problems. A couple head scratchers, a couple like, oh my god, a change of heart and yada. But other than that, I think the ban list did what it was supposed to do,
Yeah.
Yeah,
for the most part.
I
Um,
would say so.
yeah. So, I mean, like I said, who like when it comes to all these ban list reactions, and it's like when the ban list is gonna when it's ban list season, and then you get all the content creators being like, oh, free content, let's start speculating who's gonna be on the ban list, and half the time they're either gonna be right, the other half they're gonna be wrong because it's like Joe, he still wants Colossus back at one, and I told him no, it can't come back to one. You
Yes, it
play it in
can.
Master Duel,
Just
okay? You can play it in
begging.
Master Duel.
Exactly. And it's not even that broken. Vanities is there too, and it's not that broken. So like we could get Colossus back to one. Masterpiece is the one that would be scary at one.
All right, all right, Joe. Tell me a card you want to come back to one besides Colossus. We already know you want Colossus.
Well, Danglong with an errata making him more hard to make, like more worm specific to make. Even though, actually, no, I take that back because then Sword Soul will just abuse him to getting banned again
Yang Zing
somehow.
specific then.
Even then, they could run a little Yang Zing package just to get the benefit of the combo off and just keep synchroing and doing bullshit. So let me take a look real quick. I've had well, fuck it then. I'm just gonna if I can't choose him, Colossus. Can I say something that I know would be a problem? If
But
Invoker, MX
oh,
Saber Invoker.
there you
I
go.
want that at least to one, just to test it out. Do it like Snatch Steal. give it for a little bit, and if it's ridiculous, go ahead and ban it again. You know, I just for like a couple seconds want to be able to put it in a deck and pop
I
off.
agree with
You
that
know,
so hard. Oh my god.
Toby, what's one card you want back on the ban? You want back from the ban
I
list?
mean,
That's banned. It's currently banned.
other than the Invoker, obviously.
Why would you want Invoker back? For what day?
Inzectors is it? Oh wait, no. You know what? No, not Invoker. Invoker. Wait. Yeah, Invoker. Isn't Invoker mostly used in?
well, he's for level 3s, but yeah,
Yeah,
you would need some
exactly.
Earth Engine, the Earth. You'd need a Earth Warrior.
Oh,
Or
The
Earth
okay, yeah.
Machine?
Mm.
Is it Earth Machine?
Uh,
Or is it Earth
mm,
Warrior?
I think it's
well,
just Earth Warrior.
if
Hmm.
anything, a card that
That was
I
Beast
would
Warrior.
Beast Warrior.
I
Yeah.
think Invoker is Beast Warrior
Oh, okay.
and Warrior. I
Oh,
believe.
okay. But yeah, one card that I would like to see come back,
Hmm.
and I don't know, this might get a little bit of, maybe, I don't know, Soul Charge.
No,
It'd be
no,
at least to
no.
one, at least to one. Just
That's
try it out in
one.
this format. I'd,
I don't know,
I'd,
bro.
I'd love to see it. Just
What did
Yeah,
he?
I remember that
Sorry,
card, dude. I remember that shit.
God,
That card was
I
broken,
could see a
bro.
lot of like decks like nowadays just like popping off with that shit right now.
Oh,
Like
that
it'd be so
card,
chaotic.
nah.
what
I
card?
don't
Sorry, I missed
know.
it.
Soul Charge.
Oh, yeah,
I
nah, fuck.
like
Yeah, that's pretty
Maxi.
big.
People want to be in up arms about that, but Soul Charge, I can't get behind that one. No, no, that card is too broken, bro. You
See,
going first? You use that shit, and then you bring everything back. Nah, it's
yup,
hard. Nah, bro. Nah.
yup.
That's
Especially
one
with
I
like
can't get behind.
synchrons and shit coming back, or things that could just make hella negates in one turn and
Or
then just add.
links. It's like, yeah. I'm sorry,
Uh,
Toby. I can't be your friend anymore. You said that.
I just want to be an agent of chaos. Let's just bring Soul Charge back just for the fuck of it.
Fuck, Soul Charge, dude. No. What you do is you bring your monsters back, and then you quit the duel like Raphael.
Yeah,
That's how you do it because
exactly.
you want to be with your friends.
You want to be with your friends.
I was just watching that the other day. That shit was fucking
I hella
hilarious.
was watching the abridged series too. Oh my goodness.
Oh, the abridged. I was
Yeah.
watching the regular because we were
Oh.
at Fanime. We were hella watching Yu-Gi-Oh. I have no idea why we were watching the subtitled, and we were at the Ori Calcos part. So,
Oh my god.
and we were watching all that shows. It was funny.
Jeez.
Um, but now going on to our last section of this podcast, or last part of this discussion, a little Q&A, so you get to know us a little bit more. Um, I have here. Well, I don't even have them numbered. It's they're lettered, but we'll start off with Joe. I'll ask you these questions. Okay. We'll start with A. Favorite archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh man. I said this before in one of our podcasts. It's between like Fire Fist is probably number one. Yeah, like always.
You just gotta give me one. You don't got me.
Yeah,
Give
yeah,
me two. Because I know you love your decks, your Firefish, your Zoo, your Blue Eyes.
yeah.
I know you so
Yeah,
well.
just Fire Fist.
And Glad Beasts. You'll never
And
get rid of those Glad Beasts.
I know they're cool, man. They suck, but they're cool.
All right. One card. We just kind of talked about this, but one card that needs to come back from the ban list that's currently banned. So you're gonna stick
Yeah,
to
X
Colossus.
Saber. No, well, yeah, Colossus, and then if I can't choose Colossus, MX Saber Invoker.
All
It
right.
is a level 4 Earth Warrior or Beast Warrior. And that's
All
why I like it the most because I had multiple decks that could use it back in the day for
right.
some niche techs of mine.
Ah, your text, your spicy text.
Yeah,
Oscar just comes around in the spicy tech suit. He's
yeah.
like, all right. All right, next question. And this now we're not going to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh. We're going to talk about other stuff in life. There's more to life than just Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh my goodness.
An anime that you would tell a viewer to watch that they haven't seen before. And obviously, this
Hmm.
would depend on the person how much anime they've seen. But like, let's say maybe it's somebody who's gotten into the anime sphere and they want to start watching some anime.
Oh,
What
like
would
a
you
new
want
anime
them?
watcher? Trigun.
More than you, maybe like they've seen like the older stuff, like maybe Inuyasha, things like that. Think of me.
Oh, then they've
Think of me.
seen.
It's like me. I've been watching a lot of anime lately. I'm watching Jujutsu Kaisen right now. Pretty good so far.
Well, same thing I made you watch then, Black Lagoon.
Black Lagoon. That's gonna be your choice. Ooh,
Yeah,
that's a spicy one. It's a
yeah.
spicy one. That's good. All right, a musical artist that you feel is underrated.
Um, Damn, that's a hard choice.
Toby, you have these questions, so you might as well think about these.
I
We'll
want to
give
pick
you.
somebody that's I want to pick somebody that's niche from the Bay, but if I'm gonna pick something that more of the viewers would probably know, I've always said that Exhibit is hella underrated. Especially if you listen to a lot of Exhibit's older music, like he was spitting like uh 40 Days and 40 Nights and Restless, I think, are two of his older albums. One's like early 2000s. I forget. But Exhibit, especially because he got more commercialized with Pimp My Ride and stuff, I think people don't realize that he had hella music before that and his shit was slapping. So I'd say Exhibit is underrated specifically as a West Coast rapper. Like a lot of times when people talk about the best West Coast rappers, for up here, they always only give us credit for Too Short, E40 mainly because people who aren't from the Bay, they don't know like Mac Dre and shit like that. So, and then they talk about Pac and shit like that. Of course,
Hmm.
all the West Coast rappers, NWA, everybody, Snoop. So corrupt Daz, everybody. So like, I would say Exhibit often is left out of the West Coast rapper conversation, and he should be in that. So I would say my musical underrated artist is Exhibit.
Nice, nice. Favorite sport.
Damn, that's tough. So I love all sports. Um, Damn, that's tough. So I like playing basketball, like with friends and stuff like that. But for me, especially because of my family and stuff, I'd say baseball is my favorite sport because it's the one my family all actually watches. We all used to go to games together, Giants games all our life growing up and stuff. So, um, baseball is probably my favorite sport.
Nice, nice. Favorite video game playing right now.
Hmm. That's a tough choice. I'd probably have to say V Rising because we're having a lot of fun with that right now with our friends. The reason I like it though is because you build your own castle and you have to like think about where to build it and in the world and it's hella big and like I play hella like Roller Coaster Tycoon, SimCity and shit, like I like to build things and stuff. But I'd say V Rising right now is one of my favorites. But shout out Diablo because I've been playing that game for like 20 years, so
There you
Dedicated.
go. Dedicated. All right, now we're gonna go into some like this or that. So, Coke or Pepsi?
I mean, that's an easy question, Coke. I don't want a soda that tastes flat as soon as you open it. Fuck Pepsi.
Damn.
All right, PlayStation or Xbox?
Uh, I'm gonna say PlayStation, but not for the reason people think. Like, I really have no problem with Xbox. Like, there was a time in my life where I had a 360 and a PS3. It's just I tend to like the solo titles of Sony more. Um, so like God of War and shit like that. So, and a Halo, the only Xbox exclusive used to be Xbox like exclusive title that I really liked is on PC, and I mainly play PC anyway. So, nothing against Xbox, but it's definitely PlayStation for me.
Nice, nice. Marvel or DC?
This is kind of the same thing. I like them both, but I've read way more Marvel in my life than I have DC. I've read only DC I read is for characters I like. I don't ever branch out in DC. For Marvel, I've read new things just to see like I don't know anything about you, so I'm gonna learn something or like, I'll pick up new comics at the store like, oh, I've never seen this and just grab it. But for DC, I'll just from friends and things, I'll only read what I've been told is a good thing to read for a character I like. So like I'll definitely say Marvel plus DC, with the exception of a couple bangers here and there. They're struggling right now in like movies and other things. Their cartoons still dope as hell though, but yeah, Marvel's killing it in my opinion right now. So I'd say Marvel.
Nice, nice. Do you like black licorice?
Hell no, that shit is disgusting.
Good
Shout out
answer.
my cousin Jeebus. You're a nasty scumbag for having the taste buds to eat that shit.
Uh, Cold weather or hot weather? Would you rather
Oh,
be
I
nice
always
and
say
snuggled
cold
up
weather. I always
or
say
butt
cold
naked?
weather because cold weather is often better, easier to handle. Like, especially like let's eliminate indoors and air conditioning or having a fireplace or a heater if it's cold. Like when you're outside, like cold, you could adjust to the cold and depending on the layers you're wearing, you get to where it's perfect depending on the temperature rising stuff. But when it's just hella hot, Like there's only so much layers you can take off and shit, you know, like hot is just hella more miserable, makes you more tired, makes it harder to do things, you know. Obviously, people who probably live in more snowy areas, like we're in fucking NorCal, so like we can't really speak on the cold really. Like, but someone in like Boston or something right now is like, I have to shovel fucking snow just to go to the groceries at certain years or whatever. I
Fucking
hear my homie
Right.
Chuck yelling at me already, but I would say cold weather because just throw on a sweater and a beanie and be out.
Nice. Favorite cuisine?
Like just one dish, or do you mean
Just
a
like a
category?
branch, a category, and
Seafood.
that seafood.
Seafood,
Okay,
yeah.
I'll take that.
Seafood easy, yeah.
Sweet or sour?
Oh, and that varies for me, but I guess if I have to think of like a couple quick categories in my head, I'd say I'm probably more sweet than sour usually. Like I like for candy, I like sour sometimes,
You're
but
more
I mainly like
You're more sweet than sour, Joe.
yeah. Well, you're talking food, right? Or flavor, or
Yeah,
were you talking
I'm talking
per?
about food. Yeah,
Okay.
like like candy and shit. You know,
Yeah,
things
yeah,
like
yeah, cake and things like that, yeah. But at the same time, like I like, I like warheads and shit, so I don't know. I guess I'll say sweet more because I'm more of like a peanut butter cup type of
yes,
guy, you know.
peanut butters. And then last one, a quote to live by or a word of advice.
Stay down till you come up.
That's
I
real.
don't know where that's from, but all right. All right, Toby, we'll go to you.
Ooh.
Favorite archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh?
Oh man. I'm kind of on the same page. I kind of hold a light for two archetypes. It's kind of between Inzectors and Shiranui. Uh,
Pop out answers.
yep. But just I don't know. I just can't really choose between the two. Shiranui because aesthetically I love that shit. Inzectors because it's a long time running deck. You know, I just love them both. But
All
I
right.
don't know.
One card that needs to come back from the ban list. I know
Okay,
we kind of
so
talked about this,
I know
but
I said Soul Charge. I mean, I'll still stick to
Madman.
that. But one thing that I wanted to at least come back as well, maybe Lavolvo Chain.
Oh,
Lavolvo Chain.
That's good.
interesting.
Lavolvo
That's
Chain
That's
is
a
something
hella
I need
good
to
interesting.
bring
card.
back.
Zombie players will
Interesting.
bust a nut.
Hell
Yeah,
yes.
Jose would be
Hell
like,
yes.
yes.
But
All right.
yeah.
An anime that you would tell a viewer to watch if they
Oh
haven't seen it
man.
before.
So I am kind of watching a lot of anime right now. I'm just really shuffling between a whole lot, but
But you
for
remember, this is like a new anime person, but who already liked anime as a kid, so it's an easy transition.
okay,
You know?
so but if anything, one anime or I guess a franchise, because a person can really pick and choose, and this franchise is so marketable, especially to kids. But I would recommend Gundam because honestly, with a lot of like the vast series, different types of Gundam series out there, it's kind of a pick and choose. Like a lot of them still kind of encapsulate the same war drama story, like Deep Future, all this crazy war drama stuff. But there's a different flavor to like each Gundam franchise. There's only one main series, and that's the what's referred to as the Universal Century series. But like there's watch guides in regards to like what series to watch in order for that. But honestly, it ranges from like your typical war drama to even like a marketable series to kids where you basically just have like like models of like the robots fighting against each other, and on top of that, you watch the series, you like a robot, you could build the robot too, son. I mean, simple as that. And they're just really fun. It's a fun series to get into, really easy to pick up, and you could just kind of pick and choose which one. My
Just
personal
so you know,
favorite.
Toby is not sponsored, or nor is he being paid by Gundam. So
I'm not
you
being
know
paid
that
by
this is like,
Bandai or anything like that.
this is
Yeah.
from his heart.
We haven't been reached out by the official Gundam YouTube channel. No. Uh,
Soon though,
soon
soon.
maybe. But yeah, it's overall an easy series to get into. Pick and choose whatever you want to watch, and plus the
I hope they
robots look
talk to us
cool.
soon. I need to talk to him about that Mexico Gundam.
Oh my goodness.
No, I'm
The
just
Tequila Gundam?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. They need to make that a kit soon. Oh my goodness. But
All
yeah,
right.
that's
Next
my answer.
question. A musical artist you feel is underrated.
Uh, so I've been listening to a lot of underground music, a lot of independent artists. One artist that I listen to as of late, who's also actually in the Gunpla community. There's a guy who goes by the name of Yenshin. Really cool, very awesome beats that he produces. Mostly deals in a lot of the dark lo-fi. He's just been killing it with like a lot of his tracks. And he does a lot of like his sampling based off of like, you know, audio from like anime or anything nerdy like that, or like he'll take clips from I don't know if anyone's familiar with this series. It's the Netflix series Trailer Park Boys. He draws a lot of like audio clips from that. Really funny series, but yeah, really cool style that he incorporates, like, you know, with his music. So check him out. Goes by the name of Yenshin. He's on Spotify. He's on Instagram. You know, check him out. Really cool guy.
Oh, Toby over here.
Giving
The
the, giving,
Genshin.
giving, giving the plug
Genshin.
to you know, some independent artists out there, and you know, people who deserve it. So
Right. For real.
a little bit of the plug
Uh,
out there.
favorite sport?
Favorites?
I know Toby doesn't watch a lot of sports, but like,
Yeah,
what's one where you like, let's say you come to Joe's house and we're watching. What would be one that you'd be like, you kind of get stuck watching, like,
baseball.
you
I
know,
can follow baseball.
baseball? All
Yeah.
right. All right. Favorite video game playing right now?
Right now I'm playing a lot of Fall Guys. That game is super fun.
Fall Guys.
It's frustrating, especially if you get eliminated the first round. But so far I have yet to get first place in any of my runs. But Fall Guys is a really fun game. I recommend
Nice, nice. Coke or Pepsi?
it. We a Coke family here, boys.
Right. PlayStation or Xbox?
Um, I've had both. I've kind of dabbled between both, but to be honest, PlayStation. That was honestly the first console I've ever really personally owned. The first I've played was technically Nintendo, but my first
I think it goes for most people.
exactly. So, but personally, PlayStation. If not PC, I noticed PC wasn't an option. Abe.
This is this or that, okay? PlayStation
No,
or
I
Xbox?
got
It's always
you.
the console wars. All right, Marvel or DC?
Marvel, I have more of a knowledge on. DC, I kind of dabble a bit. The lore kind of interests me with DC, but Marvel, I feel like I have a bit more of like an interest in, and plus, like the superheroes are just more relatable. I feel like.
True, true. Do you like black licorice?
Yes, I do. Shout out to Joe's cousin Jeevis. We actually had some black licorice when we you know, we last hung out at like, you know, Joe's little party thing. We both enjoy black licorice. One of these days, shout out to you, Jeevis. One of these days, I'm gonna bring some Finnish, salted black licorice. You're gonna enjoy that, homie.
Sounds
That's why I asked this
disgusting.
question.
Nah, don't knock it.
Hey, you want to taste something that's gross? Let's put salt on it.
Fuck you.
Cold weather or hot weather?
Cold weather. I mean, I'm a jackets kind of guy. I like wearing jackets. You know, gotta look fly.
Yeah, same. Hoodies are dripping. I should have mentioned that too.
Exactly.
You know,
Your
look at like
favorite
right now it's hella hot here, even in the Bay. It's like 100, so it's like
Yeah. Can't.
out
It's
of
I'm wearing a
nowhere.
fucking tank top.
Favorite cuisine, Toby?
oh man.
Or favorite
Japanese.
kind of food? Like it could be like, cheeseburgers or tacos, things like that too.
I'm a bit of a
Jack in the
weeaboo.
Box.
I'm a bit of a weeaboo when it comes to my cuisine. I'm into Japanese cuisine, specifically food served from like, you know, a mom and pop private business restaurant, you know, where, you know, the food is good and the alcohol just keeps flowing, you know.
There you go.
Gotta love
Sweet
it.
or sour?
Sweet. As long as it's subtly sweet. I don't know, just sweet or sour. I can't really handle both of those flavors, really. Like I'm more of like a salty, bitter kind of guy. But I guess if anything's
Yep,
sweet,
bitter
man, shut the fuck up.
bitch. All right, a quote to live by or a word of advice?
Man, uh, honestly, just go out there, just keep walking the same path. No, 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 no. I mean, like I kind
That's
of had
it.
to
We're
think
gonna put that
about
right
it.
here. Just go out there
Just go out
and
there.
walk the path.
No, honestly, the most I could really tell people is if you're really struggling out there, just keep walking that path. You know, you'll most likely get to where you're going. Because, I mean, I'm kind of in that same situation, you know, truth be told. But a thing that just kind of keeps me going is just knowing what I have and knowing what's out there for me in the, you know, just something I gotta work for. Just keep going.
Talk to your friends, people.
Talk to your friends,
You,
people.
Talk to them. Say hi more.
I don't know. I
Uh,
can't really pull something out of my ass right now. I
all
can't think.
right. Well, now it's my turn, so
But
you get to
yeah,
learn a little bit more about me. My favorite archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh, Mermails. Everybody knows that.
obviously.
of course, we don't even no lucky guess there.
God.
One card that needs to come back, Title, of course. Uh, Title back, dude. I'm telling you, Mermails would be so much better if Title were back.
Then that means
It's just
all
so
the
good.
other elemental
You just
dragons are
like
gonna
him
have to
because
come
he's
back.
level 7.
No shit. All right. An
Uh,
anime that I would tell a viewer to watch. I said I'm more newer to, or like I've been more like when I was younger, Adult Swim, Inuyasha. That was like one of the first animes I've seen, and I was like, what the fuck is this? You know, and but but lately I've been watching a lot of anime right now. Probably one I would suggest right now that I've watched recently, Rise of the Shield Hero. Yeah, it's pretty good, and it sucks too that the voice actor died, the English dub.
Oh,
Yeah, that was the guy that died recently. Remember we were talking about it? I don't remember. Yeah, he did the voice of the main guy.
dang.
Yeah, so it sucks. Music artist that you feel is underrated. You already know who I'm gonna go with. He's right here.
Really?
BTS.
that's
Underrated?
that
They're
doesn't
so
count,
underrated. They're so
Underrated?
what the
underrated, bro. You want to
they
get into
are.
this discussion right now?
With their
Are you
There's
following
serious?
no
around
way
the
that
world? Are you kidding
Everybody
me?
loves to make fun of them.
but that
All
just
right.
comes with fame. People make fun of
No.
everybody who's famous,
Un-
you know.
No, but the thing is,
I
people
don't think
they're
that
still
counts as underrated, my
There's
they're
guy.
with
so
their
underrated. You have
following, no
no
way.
idea. Okay, super popular, but
You were
people
a
don't take them serious.
you were a
People don't take
completely
them serious.
you were a gray area journalist in this moment. Your bias is showing.
Of course,
and
no
and
shit.
also, to be
But they're
honest,
so
I
underrated.
don't think you're in the status of underrated when you're a collaborative artist to like a whole lot of like famous artists here. I mean, I think they've collaborated with Snoop Dogg, I believe, right?
Supposedly, there's a song out there. We don't know when it's
I
gonna
mean,
come
you
out.
collaborate with Uncle Snoop, that's instant fame. You've made it. That's not being
Yeah,
underrated.
didn't they have a song with like Coldplay? Like really famous people
That too,
sought them out.
yeah.
Why I say they're underrated,
Okay.
all right, besides that they're hella popular, okay, is that's the reason why. Is that people don't understand that yes, they're popular, but they're not popular just because of the way they look or the way they dance. It's because they're actually good artists.
No, yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. Because a lot of people don't take them seriously. People always come with the homophobic shit and the oh they look like
And it
girls,
is
oh
true,
they
yeah. It's
dance,
unfortunate.
and that's why sometimes like when like a fan like me an army as we call ourselves, it sucks to hear other people say that about them, and and when it comes to like when you were an artist being that young, there's people doubting you,
Yeah.
but then you prove yourself. You get to a point where maybe you don't make music anymore and you're doing other things, but that's what music has allowed you to do, or to be an artist. So that's why I say that BTS is underrated because people don't take him seriously as an artist.
I mean,
So
would you at least say that now people are taking them seriously? Because in all fairness, with their fame kind of rising up, like they are kind of cutting into like deals again with like collaborations and their music being featured in a lot of places.
Yeah.
but a lot of people
But
do
yeah,
that
you're right.
because they want the fans to watch. You know, this year they didn't go to the Billboard Music Awards, and the Billboard Awards, their viewership.
Mm.
So it just shows you how say dedicated we are. But it's like this is the artist we want to see, and if you don't do it, you're not gonna like people. That's the thing. A lot of people think like because when it comes to Billboard, like when it comes to like sales and stuff, like the albums and stuff, they think we're not gonna. They think we're just gonna be streaming and stuff because streaming doesn't count as much towards like an actual physical sale.
Uh huh.
But
Yeah.
we got deep pockets. Is what I'm trying to say.
That's
So we'll
true.
support our artists compared to other artists who don't get as much recognition because maybe they don't have the right marketing team or they're
Well,
still
I feel that
independent,
because
things
like
like that.
with a lot of underground rappers and metal bands that I listen to, you got to go to shows and shit, you know? You got to
Yeah.
support them if you really like them, or like that's why I still buy CDs and I still like do stuff like that, buy their official merch, not just somebody who iron printed on the artist against their will who's selling on Instagram, like Yeah, I feel it. I mean, I guess in that light, I'll agree with you. Underrated, but I thought we were talking in terms of like putting them on a pedestal of like greats, like I didn't know you just meant like in general about the person,
Ones
because
ones
like
that
No,
need more
no, no. But that's what I'm
recognition.
saying is that their music gets underrated. People
Oh
just
no,
think it's
yeah.
flashy and whatnot, but it's actually good.
No, yeah.
And like you said about Exhibit, a lot of people don't take him seriously because he did Pimp My Ride, but he was actually a rapper. Like he actually
yeah,
raps. He's not like these other rappers that just get famous for some reason, and
yeah,
then that's why they take off. But it's like Exhibit actually has talent. He was, a lot of people don't know him because of his rap game or because maybe he started in some movies and stuff after the Pimp My Ride thing, and people just think of him as the Pimp My Ride guy. So,
yeah.
so that's what I mean.
All right, but
So
anyway,
before we go on to a whole
yeah.
spiel,
Before
all
Abe
right,
cuts
about the
into his whole
music
thesis
industry,
about BTS, favorite sport, Abe?
basketball all day, Warriors, bam. All right.
Yep. Favorite
Favorite
video
video
game.
game? Man, I haven't really been playing video games that much lately, but I do want to play something. I don't know. I know Joe's gonna be like, "Hey, you should play some V Rising now you got a computer. Play some V Rising or play some WoW or Diablo with me.
You should play some
Some
Fall
shit
Guys.
like that. Or Fall Guys. See, another one. There you go. See, you're
Dude, we
just
could
peer
just
pressuring me, guys.
I'm gonna buy you Zoo Tycoon.
But yeah, I do want to start playing more games. It's just that I don't know. I've been doing so much other stuff, and then it's just hard to have time to play video games.
I feel it.
Definitely play Pokemon when Pokemon comes out, for sure. That's for sure.
Nice.
Coke or Pepsi? Coke all day. PlayStation and Xbox. I just always like PlayStation more, and kind of like what Joe said. I usually don't play a lot of games with a lot of people. So having those one-player games where you can just play by yourself and just play the story, I think PlayStation just has those better games. So I agree with that. Marvel or DC? Never really talked or watched too much DC myself, but obviously when it comes to Marvel, a lot of people are like, "Oh, you just like Marvel because of the movies." I do, and I may not know as much as maybe somebody like Joe who's actually read comics, but when it comes to the MCU with like the movies and stuff, I love that shit. It's superhero, but there's actually there's sub what was it substance there,
Yeah.
which is why I like it. It's like watching Endgame and seeing fucking Tony Stark die. That shit made me cry. My mom was like, "What are you crying?" I'm like, "Fuck, he fucking died, man. What the fuck? What are you talking about? He's Iron Man." I'm there crying. My mom's just like, "What the fuck?" Never sees me shed a tear. But he's Iron Man. But it's because they built that story, and seeing him in that moment, it fucking sucks.
It was a
It's like you lose
10-year
a friend.
payoff, Mom.
Yes. Anyway, do I like black licorice? I don't like licorice in general, and I don't even want to know what black licorice tastes like. So,
Yeah,
hell
they
no.
hating.
Cold weather, hot weather. I actually like hot weather because I can wear shorts all the time. You know me, I'm always wearing shorts. The cold weather is just I don't like it because then I can't sleep. And even in the hot weather, I know it's hard to sleep too. But I can. I don't say I can deal with hot weather more, but I like it better when it's like 70 degrees every day instead of 45 degrees every day.
You wear
That's
shorts
just
in
me.
cold weather anyway.
Yeah,
That's
true.
true.
That's true. I mean, I got more blubber.
I like hot
That's why.
weather because I can do what I do all the time, but people don't mention it when I
Get
do.
naked.
Because that's what it is. Because every time it's cold, it never fails. There's at least once a year when it's cold and Abe comes over in shorts, and somebody will say, "Yeah, bro, why you wearing shorts? It's hella cold."
And it's not just shorts. The dude comes up in basketball shorts. My goodness.
Dude, ball so hard,
Hey,
all day.
hey.
You weren't with me shooting in the gym? Rick Ross, what's up? All right, sweet favorite cuisine. I'm gonna have to say just Mexican, bro. Mexican food. Everybody loves Mexican food. Who doesn't love tacos?
Taco.
Sweet or sour? Sweet because, like Joe said, peanut butter cups are the greatest invention ever. And a quote to live by or a word of advice. Um, my favorite line. It is what it is.
Nice.
Mic
True.
drop. All right. Well, when it comes to the end of that comes to the end of our discussion, guys. So, if you have any topics you'd like for us to discuss from the casual player's perspective, we do call ourselves the Rogue Network. drop it down in the comment section down below. Let us know what you think about what topics we discussed today. Let us know what would you like for us to talk in the future. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to share. Hit the notification bell to know when we drop a new video, so you guys can watch that. And yeah, I said, if you like the discussion, share it. Make sure you guys follow us on social media. Instagram is at YuGiBOOM Official. Facebook, it's just YuGiBOOM. And Twitter, YuGiBOOM. So it's very easy to find us. And yeah.
TCG player.
Any last thoughts,
link.
guys? Oh yeah, TCG player affiliate link. You want to buy any cards? Use that link. Help us support.
Please.
Please. But yeah, any last words you guys want to say before we head out?
Keep playing Evil Swarm.
Toby?
Stay drinking water.
True that. That's very important. All right. Bye, guys.